Hi everyone, the Hobbyist Vlogs here, and today I just wanted to give an honest feedback regarding this specific car and car brand. So, straight to the point, I will be giving a feedback or my own experience on Geely M Grand. My M Grand is 2022. So, just to give you a bit of context, this car is not my first car. So, I have Japanese cars, car brands like Toyota, Nissan. I have Vios, Avanza before, 2019 Nissan Navara, and my current is 2024 Nissan Navara, and this Geely M Grand, which is the 2022. So, some of you might ask, why did you like purchase Geely despite of you being like what do you call this? Have this kind of loyalty in Japanese cars? I was like, it just looks so poggy. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks macho. It looks like a American muscle car for me. Also it is elegant. So way back 2022, we decided to get it instead of getting another Vios. And it's actually nice. And the marketing or the sales agent is telling me that this is made by Volvo, and you can see from the interior and exterior, right? Even the body itself is really sturdy for me. So that's what I like, right? Even the front, like that fierce looking of GLM Grand. Up to the date today, it is actually great. So, my honest experience when it comes to Geely or this specific car, we all know that in the previous years there's lots of issues on Coolray, and I think they figured out that they bought it secondhand. So I don't know. Maybe because it is not my first car, and some of you, this is might be it might be not your first car as well. So the problem is you have the baseline of your standards when it comes on this automotive units, and I noticed some differences, having some comparison, which is normal. Um, One thing I would tell you guys is Geely or the Chinese cars didn't achieve um, the refinement of the parts of the Japanese car brands. Although yes, the tech is there, like you have more features like adapted cruise control. Mine doesn't have that. So there are lots of perks compared to the Japanese cars. So let me tell you what I'm thinking in the past few years. I keep on thinking why these Japanese cars are so elegant. Even the functionalities are almost there, and it will make you purchase one, right? But when you enter a Japanese car like my Navara, let's go to Toyota, Fortuner, or in general all Japanese cars. When you go to the cabin, right, of that car, you will notice that everything is basic. There are buttons, less touchscreens, except for the infotainment. Unlike other car brands, even Ford, right? They have this like the manual AC button. Right now, I think the Ford Ranger have this kind of a Tesla like infotainment where the controls is also integrated. So Japanese cars doesn't want that, even though they are the most advanced country before, right? So have you ever wondered why? So maybe because they don't trust this or the integrity of this kind of tech right now. So malfunctioning controls. So it depends on their engineering. So anyway, going back to my feedback. Sorry, I got a little bit carried over by that on that part. So the reason why I'm telling that they didn't reach the refinement of the Japanese cars is my experience on GLM Grand 2022. Again, I'm not saying that I'm credible on giving feedback on current units of Geely, but here's my experience. You will notice, I noticed that on my Navara, my brake pads is getting consumed, of course. This is wear and tear parts, right? But the disc brakes are very smooth. Now I noticed in my GLM Grand, it is so rough. They're like uneven wears. So that makes me think that the brake pads is really stiffer, or maybe harder compared to the disc brakes itself. So it is consuming the metal of the disc brake, and it is not evenly. I noticed that even on parking, on different Chinese car brands. So their disc brakes there's a lot of uneven wear. So the problem there is I noticed just for 2 years of age, when I'm braking from 100 kilometers per hour, and if it's a little bit sudden, not too sudden, I notice the little bit vibration from coming from the steering wheel, and it is noticeable. So let's be honest. Sometimes you go above 100 kilometers per hour, like 110. Even if you go to 110, you will feel it more. It is like the cabin is shaking, and it feels not too safe for me. So that's why I checked the rotor disc. I was like, okay, so this is the problem. Because I experienced that issue on my Toyota Vios before when I changed it with a replacement brake pads. Right. So I will not mention the brand because maybe I bought a very cheap like brake pads during that time. But anyway, so that's the problem number one. And problem number two. So it's 4 years now, and it is being used on city driving. We really not. I'm not really using that sedan on province on any rough roads. So there's a little bit of sound on the shock mounting already, or the shock itself. Like there's a squeaking sound when you're going to bumps. So you will never experience that on any Japanese cars now on that specific age, unless you are using it on the province um, every week. Depends where you're using the car. So what I'm trying to tell you is this car is already being used in city with good or better roads compared to the province. Not every province, okay, but yeah. So those premature wears are noticeable. Okay, so last thing, and I think this is a really really big problem for me. So 3 years of age, because now it is my car is already 4 years. Yeah, it is the last year of payment term. So yeah, so I noticed the aircon actuator. You will see it on Facebook. There's lots of underground part seller there of Geely. The aircon actuator, if I'm saying the term correctly or the name of the part correctly. So there are two actuators from the right and left. So I'm noticing that it is sticking. It is doing weird sound, and sometimes the breeze from the air vent of the aircon is going on and off. It depends on your speed. There's no really consistent pattern. So I think it is a factory defect. Although it's a wear and tear, but it's super early to experience that kind of issues. Like for 3 years of age, you should have that kind of issues in 6, 7, or even 8 years, right? And the mileage of the car is like 40,000. So again, I'm telling you this because this is not my first car. This is not my main car. So I'm noticing the difference between the Japanese and the Chinese car brands. I'm not saying that other car brands are this exactly the same, like BYD or other like GWM. I'm not sure if GWM is China or other car brands. I'm not sure, or Cherry and everything else. Yeah, but yeah, that's my honest opinion. And firsthand, I experienced this kind of issues with Geely. I didn't tell with Casa. I didn't communicate with Casa regarding this because I'm doing the PMS myself, and I don't have the luxury of time to address all of those issues because we're planning to sell that car after we fully paid it, because I think the value of that car is really bad, or after sale market value is not that good. So yeah, just for me, it is a mistake choosing that car rather than getting a Toyota Vios or other Japanese car brands on the same level or pricing point. So, and that is for me, okay? So there's no turning back. So yeah, but if you don't, if that is your first car, and you really like it, it is up to you. And I respect if you will get a GD branded cars or any Chinese car brands, because at the end of the day, your money, your decision. But one thing for sure that I can like suggest to you, get a Japanese car brand first and use it as your main car. And then if you will get, and I hope you get your second car, then try other car brands like any Japanese car or any Chinese car brands. So I think that's the only way that I can help you. But again, I'm like saying this because of my frustration on my unit. But maybe 3, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, it will be a lot better. So if you're trying to decide which car you're getting, or which first car you're trying to get right now, so I hope this helps. And if you like this video, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe.